our finals exam review. And for this video, isolve po natin mga problems ay specifically in conic sections. Lahat po ng mga problems dito ay kinuha ko po sa practice exercises na pinost sa FB page ng SLU SEA MATH. So let's go! First here guys, kung mapapansin nyo, they want us to find the area of this curve. So first thing to do is to figure out ano ba tong curve na to. Figuring out, makikita nyo, ang coefficients ng a and ax squared tsaka bx squared ay iba. Pero they have a sign which is positive. Ibig sabihin, kapag iba yan and they have positive sign, that would be equal to an ellipse. Ellipse yan guys. Pero kapag, for example, let's say that's 9x squared plus 9y squared, ma-identify na yan, circle yan. Pero pag parehas sila. Pero kapag hindi parehas, that's an ellipse. Alright, now, next thing to do here guys is hanapin natin kung ano ba yung area. And the formula for area of ellipse is basically equal to pi a times b, wherein a is the distance from the center to the vertex and b is the distance from the center to the co-vertex. Alright, so how will we solve for that? What we need to do here is to convert this general form, this naka-general form kasi siya guys, alright, naka-general form kasi siya, alright, naka-general form siya, gagawin natin siyang standard form para ma-identify natin kung ano nga ba yung a and b. And the standard form, para magawa yun, we do completing the square. That will be equal to 9x squared plus 18x, gagawa natin ng blanco dyan, plus blank, ito, plus, i-group natin sila. That would be equal to 25y squared minus 100y plus blank. Itong 160, ito, equals 116. Alright. Next thing to do here, guys, kailangan na matira dito is na coefficient ng x squared at y squared should only be 1. So, i-factor out natin itong 9, itong 25. So, factoring that out, yung matitira sa loob would be equal to x squared, 18 divided by 9, that's 2, plus 2x, plus the box over here, plus we have 25, i-factor out natin yan guys. Kapag finactor out natin yung 25, yung matitira sa loob would only be y squared minus 4y plus box is equal to 116. Ano tong box na ginagawa ko? I'm making that box because I want to complete the square. So completing the square of 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1, 1 square is 1. What I added here, I should add that also to the other side of the equation. Should I add 1? Mali guys. You don't only add 1. Kailangan yung i-multiply muna yung 1 na ito sa 9 bago nyo i-add dito. So I would add here 9 because that's 1 times 9. Dito naman, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 square is 4. Kailangan ko muna itong i-multiply sa 25 bago ko siya i-add sa kabila. So that's 4 plus 25 is basically 100. Alright? So from here, pwede ko na itong i-factor out. Magiging yan, 9 x squared square root of x is x plus 1 squared plus 25. That's y minus kasi negative yon. Square root of 4 is 2. Squared is equal to 116 plus 9 plus 100 is basically 225 guys. Now, what I need to do is divide everything by 225. Kasi 'di ba kung naalala nyo, dapat yung right side natin ay mag-equal siya sa 1. Alright, so ito, 9 divided by 225. 9 divided by 225 is equal to 1 over 25. So ito, that's x plus 1 squared over 25 plus, ito naman, y minus 2 squared. 25 divided by 225 is equal to 1 over 9. That's divided by 9 is equal to 1 kasi magka-cancel out yung dalawa. Alright, now guys, this is the equation of the ellipse in standard form. Ngayon, kailangan nating hanapin ngayon yung value ng a and b. And sa ellipse, kung ano yung mas malaki na dito, that will always be the a. So since 25 is greater than 9, this is the value of a squared, this is the value of b squared. So to find for the value of a, that's square root of 25, a is equal to 5. And your b is equal to the square root of 9, which is 3. Now, we can now solve for the value of the area. That's pi times a, which is 5, and b, which is 3. That's equal to 15 pi. So our answer is letter A. Easier, alright? Next problem here. What is the circumference of an ellipse whose diameter are 14 and 10 meters? Basically, when sinabi niyang diameters, those are the major and minor axis. So, when we have an ellipse like that, ang isang diameter niya daw, basically the longer one is 14 and 10 naman yung isa. So, basically, if that's 10, this is 5. This is 5, and if this 14, that's 7, and this is 7. Now, ano yung circumference ng ellipse na to? Ang formula po para sa circumference ng ellipse ay is equal yan guys sa 2 pi times the square root of a squared plus b squared divided by 2. This is the formula for in finding the perimeter of any ellipse. Alright guys, so what's the value of a? A natin guys is yung length ng kalahating major axis. That's 7. This is A, di ba? What is longer should always be the A, and what is shorter should be the B. So 5 is B. So let's substitute. That's 2 pi times the square root of 7 square plus 5 square divided by 2. That's simplified as 7 square is 49. 49 plus 25. 49 plus 25 divided by 2. Grab your calculator. That would be equal to 2 pi times the square root of 49 plus 25 divided by 2. That would be equal to 38.219. 38.219 or rounded off to 38.22. So we have our answer as letter A. Alright? Next. What conic section is represented by this equation? So, kung mapapansin nyo, the coefficients of x and y are the same. They are both 1. So, I can conclude that this is a circle. Ganun ko po kinukonclude, guys. This is a circle. Now, yeah. So, that's A. Ganun pala. Sorry, guys. So, yun pala. A is the answer. Nice one. Let's go next. Determine the equation of a curve such that the sum of the distances of any point on the curve from 2 points whose coordinates are negative 3 and 3 zeros equal to 8. Alright, analyze natin yung question. Look at this line. The sum of the distances. Alright. When we are talking about the sum of distances, that's referring to an ellipse, di ba? Kasi guys, when we have an ellipse, these are the foci. That's the foci. These are the foci. This is the center. The sum of the distances from any point, ito hanggang dito ay equal lang sa distance ng dito hanggang dito. So, this curve is referring to an ellipse. Sum of the distances of any point of the curve from 2 points whose coordinates are negative 3, 0, and 3, 0. Itong 3, 0, tsaka negative 3, 0, it's referring to the two foci. Alright? So, let's L-graph that out. Sabi niya, ang dalawang foci daw ay negative 3. That's 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 0, and 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Alright, andito yan. That's 3, 0, negative 3, 0. Now, so ibig sabihin, ang center ng ellipse ay sa 0, 0 at the origin. Now, ano daw yung equation ng ating what do you call this? The ellipse. So, I can now therefore conclude from this alone na ang equation nito would be equal to x minus, ang equation nito would be equal to x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal to 1. How did I derive this equation? First of all, ang a squared ko ay nasa x kasi I know that the foci lies on the x-axis, which is kung saan ang A ay naka-lighten. Paraging magkasama yung A tsaka yung C. C is the foci, A is the vertex. Now, alright guys, so if this is our ellipse, sabi niya, ang distance daw from the sum of this and that is equal to 8. And remember, the sum of the distances is always equal to 2A. 2A is equals to 8. Basically, 8 would be equal now to 4. Again, I want to emphasize, ang sum po, kapag pinag-add mo yung dalawang distance na to, is always equal yan sa 2A. And we know that A is from center to the vertex. Alright? Yan yung A, di ba? So, from this alone, I can now plot kung nasaan yung A ko, which is at 4. So, I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. It's here. Alright? So, this is my A. So, from there, meron akong value ng A and meron akong value ng aking mga vertices. Alright? Next. Para mag-graph ko to at kailangan ko ng A tsaka B. Yung present lang is yung A. Pero I know that C is 3. How did I know that C is 3? That's the distance of the foci to the origin. That's 3. Alright? So, what I can do is to use the formula C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared para mahanap ko yung value ng B. So, pagpalitin ko lang tong B tsaka C, that would be equal to B squared is equal to A squared minus C squared. A natin, guys, is 4. 4 squared is 16 minus C squared is 3. 3 squared is 9. So that would be equal to B would be the square root of 16 minus 9. 16 minus 9 is 7. Square root of 7. So from this, pwede ko na itong magawa yung ating equation. Substitute ko lang yung values. That would be equal to x squared over a squared. If that's 4, 4 times 4 squared is 16 plus y squared over ang b squared natin is square root of 7. Square root of 7 squared is matatagal yung square root, so magiging 7 is equal to 1. Pero yung mga sagot dito, choices, they are in the general form. So I will change this into general form. To do that, I will multiply the whole equation by 16 and 7. Okay? So multiply to the first term, magka-cancel yung 16, matitira is 7x squared. Plus, dito naman, magka-cancel yung 7 and 7, matitira is 16y squared is equal to 16 times 7 is basically 16. Grab your calculator. 16 times 7, that's 112. 112 times 1 is 112. Alright, transpose natin ito sa kabilang side ng equation. So, our final answer is 7x squared plus 16y squared minus 112 is equal to 0. So, this is our answer, which corresponds to letter A. Letter A, guys. Alright? Let's move to the next problem. Find the focus of the parabola. Y squared, this should be squared. Sorry, guys. Y squared plus 4y minus 4x minus 8. So, alam natin na parabola siya. Parabola, yun yung nakaganon. It's either one of that. Alright? So, ano yung focus daw? Focus ng parabola na to. So, basically, para mahanap natin yung focus, we need to find first the vertex. So, para mangyari yon, i-convert ulit natin to sa kanyang standard form kasi naka-general form siya. It is very essential, guys, na alam nyo kung paano i-convert ang mga equations from their general form to their standard form. That would be very, very helpful, guys. Alright? Maraming problems na ganun talaga yung kinakailangan. So, para magawa yon, I will isolate yung may square sa isang side lang ng equation. So, I will maiwan yung y squared plus 4y dito. Yung 4x tsaka negative y dadalhin ko sa kabila. That would be positive 4x na plus 8. Now, i-complete ko yung square dito. Y squared plus 4y. 4 divided by 2, guys, is 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Kung ano yung in-add ko dito, dapat ko i-add sa other side of equation. So, that's 4x plus 8 plus 4. So, that's basically 4x plus 12. Ito, guys, pwede ko na itong i-factor out. That's y plus, kasi positive yung middle term, square root of 4, that's 2 squared. Alright? So, hindi pa to yung standard equation kasi kung alam nyo, yung standard equation natin is y minus k squared is equal to 4p x minus h. Tama ba? Yes, I hope so. Yun. Hindi pa to. So, kailangan natin itong i-factor out para maiwan lagi, para maging factor yung x. So, para magyari yun, i-factor out ko yung 4. Kasi they are common factors. So, that's 4. Matatagal yan. Maiiwan sa loob is x plus 3. So, we are now good at this. Ma-identify na natin kung nasan yung vertex. So, vertex dito, this is hk. Diba? Vertex is hk. So, this is negative 3 and negative 2. Ito po yung vertex natin ngayon. Pero yung hinahanap is the focus. So, what we need to do here, guys, is to identify kung saan ba pupunta yung focus. Will it be going to the left or to the right, up or down? Yung vertex natin is nasa negative 3 and negative 2. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Andito yan, guys. Okay, so that's our vertex. Now, tingnan niyo yung ating take a look at our what do you call this? Take a look at our equation. Palagi niyong tatandaan na kapag yung y yung naka-square is y, the graph is either going to the left or either going to the right. Kapag yung x yung naka-square, it's either going up or going down. That's in the cases of parabola, guys. Right? Paano niyo malalaman pag left and right? Since ito left and right, ma-identify nyo yan sa value ng 4p. Yan, guys. Ang value ng 4p nyo is positive. Therefore, it's going to the right. So, yan. Yan, guys. Yan. It's going to the right. So, yung graph natin here, guys, that's going to the right. And, ang focus ng isang parabola is always encapsulating ng, always ini-enclose ng parabola. So, ang focus is along this part. Alright. Now, paano natin ma-identify kung ano yung coordinate ng parabola ay ng focus? Always remember na if this is the vertex, the distance of focus to vertex, that's P. Alright, that's P. So we need to identify the value of P. This is 4, guys. 4 is equal to 4P. Diba yun yung general equation? 4P. So the value of 4P is equal to 4. So to find 4P, divide both sides by 4. P is therefore equal to 1. So from vertex dito, mag-move tayo ng 1 going to the right para makuha yung focus. So ang ating is negative 3 and negative 2. Mag-move tayo to the right, ibig sabihin yung mag-change is yung x-axis. So negative 3, move to the 1 unit to the right, magiging negative 2 and negative 2. So ito na ngayon ang ating focus. I hope you get the concept, guys. Kahit medyo komplikado, pero ganun talaga yung proseso. So our answer is letter A. Alright? Problem number 6. Problem number 6. Sabi dito, guys, what is the center of the curve x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y minus 31 equals 0? Again, first step, i-identify kung anong curve to para alam natin kung saan tayo napupunta. And basically, ma-identify kung this is a circle since the x squared at y squared, ang side nila ay positive and parehas sila ng coefficients. So, this is a circle. Alright? So, ano daw yung center ng circle na to? Basically, it's simply converting this again from general to standard. Napaka-importante ng na to, which is mostly gumagamit tayo ng completing the square. So, i-complete ulit natin yung square dito. So, that would be x squared minus 2x plus blank. I-group muna natin siya plus y squared minus 4y plus blank. Yung negative 31, lalhin natin sa kabilang side, magiging positive 31. So, let's complete now the square. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Kung ano yung dinagdag natin dito, idagdag din natin sa kabila. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Kung anong dinagdag, idagdag sa kabila. So, that's plus 4. Okay, now, let's factor this out. This would be equal to x minus kasi yun yung middle term. Sign ng middle term. Square root of 1 is 1. Squared plus y minus, kasi negative din yon. Square root of 4 is 2. Squared is equal to 31 plus 1 plus 4 is 36. Now, ang center ng circle natin is basically HK. That's HK, which is 1 and 2. Kung ano yung value dito, kung ano yung sign dito, baliktarin mo lang. So, that's negative, naging positive, negative, naging positive. So, your center is at 1, coordinate 1, 2, which is at letter D. So, ang sagot po natin is letter D. Alright? Next. Sabi niya, an ellipse has an eccentricity of 1 over 3. So, ano nga ba itong eccentricity? By formula, eccentricity, guys, is equal to C over A. Now, ang value daw niyan is 1/3. E is equal to 1/3. Now, what is the length of the semi-major axis if the distance between the foci is 4? So, i-interpret natin yan. Ano ba yung pinapahanap niya na semi-major axis? Alam natin na ito, yung longer diameter, that's the major axis. Yung smaller diameter, that's the minor axis. Now, ang semi, from the word semi, means half of the major axis. And when we say half, di ba major axis, guys, if you remember, major axis is equal to 2a. Now, if i-half natin yung 2a, that's basically a. So, semi-major axis is equal to a. Now, so, A yung hinahanap niya. Pina-adjust lang, ginawang semi-major axis. Ganun talaga ang buhay. So, now, Next thing to do here, guys, is hanapin na natin tong A. Pero, meron tayong given, which is yung foci, the distance between the foci. Kasi di ba dalawa yung foci? Dalawang focus, which is a foci. Kasi nga, dalawa. Plural form. So, ito yung unang foci natin, pangalawang foci. Ang distance ng dalawa daw is 4. Ibig sabihin, that's 4. Ibig sabihin, yung C ko is equal to 2. C ko here is equal to 2, di ba? Kasi that's, parang hinati ko sila. So, I know that the value of my C is 2 and the value of my eccentricity is 1/3. How can now I solve for the value of A? Using this formula, I can solve for that. So, E is equal to C over A. I have the value of E. That's 1/3. I have also the value of C. I know that it's 2 and I'm finding for A. So, just cross multiply. A is therefore equal to 6. That's letter C. Diba? The area of the circle whose equation is x squared plus y squared is equal to 6x minus 8y. So, it's basically, again, transforming from general equation going to standard. So, maraming problem talaga kayo may-encounter na kailangan gawin to. Kasi makikita mo lang yung mga kinakailangan mo, specifically radius, kasi you're finding for the area kapag nasa standard form siya. So, completing the square, mabilisan lang to. X squared, transpose natin yung 6x sa kabila, minus 6x plus blank plus y squared, transpose natin yung 8y, magiging positive 8y, plus blank is equal to 0. Kasi wala nang natira, di ba? So, complete the square. 6 divided by 2 is, 3 squared is 9. So, plus 9. 8 squared is, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. So, 16. That's plus 16. So, alam ko na dito is 25. Hindi ko na kailangan i-evaluate to kasi yung hinahanap ko lang naman is radius because area yung hinahanap. So, since radius squared is equal to 25, radius is equal to 5. So, to find for the area of the circle, that's area is equal to pi r squared. R ko is 5. So, that's 25 pi. Alright? So, ang sagot ko is equal to A. A is my final answer. Alright? Next. Find the area bounded by the ellipse x squared plus 16y squared minus 16x plus 96y plus 144 is equal to 0. So, area of an ellipse. Again, sabi ko nga, the area of an ellipse is equal to pi times A times B. So, I need to find for the A and B. Ito, it is in general equation ulit. Gagawin ko ulit yung standard. So, para gawin ulit yan, it's basically completing the square ulit. So, magiging x squared minus 16x. Gagawa ko ng box ko dyan. Plus 16y squared plus 96y. Gagawa ulit ako ng box dyan para dyan ko input. Is equal to 144. Magiging negative 144. Now, I can now complete the square over here. So, that's negative 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 squared is 64. So, ito guys, magpa-plus ako dito ng 64 sa kabilang side ng equation. Pero ito, hindi ko pa ito pwedeng completing the square kasi kailangan ko munang i-factor out yung 16. Kasi dapat, yung coefficient ng mga may degree na raised to 2 is equal to 1. Eh, ito 16. So, i-factor out ko siya. So, magiging 16 y squared, 96 divided by 16. 96 divided by 16 is 6. So, plus 6y plus blank. Alright. So, solve ko na yan. Pwede ko na siyang i-completing the square. 6 divided by 2 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. Alright. So, i-add ko yung 9 dito. No, mali. Dapat i-multiply ko muna siya sa 16 bago ko siya i-add. So, para mangyari yon, 9 times 16 is equal to 144. Alright. So, pwede ko na siyang i-factor out. Ito, this is equal to x minus, kasi negative yung middle term, minus squared of 64 is 8 squared plus ito, may 16 dyan. Y, positive plus, kasi positive yung middle term, squared of 9 is 3. Squared is equal to, magkakancel yung 144, 144, yung matitira is 64. Now, kapag ellipse yan, dapat, kung maaalala nyo yung equation natin equals to 1. So, what I need to do is to divide all by 64. Divided by 64. Let's make some space. So, dito, that's x minus 8 squared divided over 64 plus 16 divided by 64 is equal to 1/4. Yeah, so that's y plus 3 squared divided by, ano yun? Divided by 4 is equal to 1. Now, ano yung hinahanap ulit is A and B. And the value of A squared, ito, A squared is always the bigger side. Larger denominator. So, ito, that's A is equal to 8 kasi square root of 64. Here, B is equal to the square root of 4 which is 2. So, 8 and 2. So, dito, pwede ko siyang ma-simplify. Pwede ko siyang ma-solve. Area is therefore equal to 8 times 2 times pi, or area is equal to 16 pi. That's letter A ulit. Alright? So, that's how to solve the area of an ellipse. Next, problem number 10. The set of all points in a plane equidistant from a fixed point in a fixed line. If you review your definition of conic section, this is equal to a parabola. Bakit? Parabola kasi, what is this fixed point? Kung ito yung parabola na fixed point, this is the focus, and that fixed line is the line over here, which you know as the directrix. Alright? So, sometimes, ito, ang distance kasi dito, papunta dito, equal yan. Ito, punta doon, hanggang dito, equal dapat yan. Ito, punta doon, papunta dito, equal dapat yan. That's what is mean by the definition of a parabola. Next. Number 11. In a given ellipse, the distance between foci is 2c. Alright. So, meron tayong ellipse. Tama naman. Yung distance from this foci and another foci, this is 2c. Between the vertices and between the vertices is 2a. Tama naman because ito guys, yan, that's A and this is also A. This is C and this is C. Now, ang tinatanong niya, determine the distance from one of the foci, this is one of the foci, to the nearest vertex. Ano daw yung distance nitong dalawa guys? So, I know that ang buong ito ay A. So, ang distance dito hanggang dito is C. So, para makuha yung natitira dito, that's basically A minus C. Letter B. Got? Yeah. That's letter B. Tama. Okay, next problem. Problem number 12. So, for this problem, sabi dito, find the equation of parabola with vertex at 5, -2 and focus at 5 and -4. So, ang first thing na gagawin ko dito is to graph para ma-visualize ko muna siya. So, I will graph this out. Vertex ng parabola is 5 and -2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -2 going down. Dun, 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 dun. Chugs. So, that's the vertex. Now, the focus is at 5, -4. -4, ibig sabihin, mas baba pa siya. So, plus 5, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Andito siya. This is the focus. So, basically, alam natin na ang focus na ang parabola ay dapat palaging ini-enclose niya yung focus. So, alam ko ngayon na yung parabola is going downwards. Diba? Andito yung vertex natin. Ito yung focus. Now, hahanapin ko ngayon yung equation ng parabola. Since it's going down, ang equation ng parabola would be equal to x minus h squared is equal to 4p y minus k. Alright? So, I know the value of my h and k because that's the vertex. This is the h and this is the k. Pero, hindi ko alam yung value ng p. Pero, I know that the focus is along this line. And ang distance ng vertex to f is what we know as the p. Diba? Ang distance ng dalawang to is p. So, basically, isusubtract ko yung -4. Dito nasa -4, ito nasa -2. So, P is equal to -2. Bakit -2? Because it's going downwards. When it's going to the left or going down, that will be negative. When it's going up or going to the right, that your P will be positive. So, I'll just substitute and I can get now the equation of the parabola. So, that's x minus h. H is 5 squared is equal to 4p. P is -2. Y minus k. Ang k ko is -2, so that would be equal to +2. Expand ko to. This would be equal to x squared minus 10x plus 25. This would be equal to -8y, di ba? -8y, i-transpose ko sa dalawa. So that would be negative 8y. Distribute ko, I should say, this is negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. Now, ilagay ko itong dalawa sa kabilang side ng equation. So that would be equal to x squared minus 10x minus 8y. 25 plus 16 plus 25 plus 16 is equal to 0. 25 plus 16, guys, is equal to 41. So that's x squared minus 10x minus 8y plus 41 is equal to 0. So ito, guys, ito now, this is the equation of our parabola at vertex 5, negative 2, and focus 5 over 4. So that's basically letter D. This is our final answer, guys. Alright, next. Right, next problem. So, problem number 13. Sabi dito, find the eccentricity of the curve, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so, ito, kung mapapansin nyo, identify natin muna kung ano yung curve na to. By identification, I can identify na yung curve na to is an, ano ba to? This is, hyperbola. Okay. Bakit siya hyperbola? First of all, merong coefficients yung x squared tsaka y squared. Next, parehas ba sila? Hindi. Hindi sila parehas. And lastly, negative yung side nila. Ibig sabihin, hyperbola yon. Yes, hyperbola yon. Paano ko ba identify ito? Okay, so, paano ba na-identify? Maybe you may be wondering paano natin yan na-identify. When you have same, kung same yung ano natin, kung same yung coefficients ng x squared at positive sila, this is a circle. Pero kapag positive din ulit yan, pero iba yung coefficients, plus dahil x squared, dahil this is y, ito, ellipse to. Pero kapag negative yung sign ng isa, at hindi sila magkaparehas, that's 10x squared minus 9y squared, ito, hyperbola to. At kung isa lang yung naka-square, x squared lang, this is a parabola. Or, for example, isa lang yung naka-square, y squared lang, parabola ulit yan. Doon yung ma-identify kung circle ba siya, ellipse, hyperbola, or parabola. Important yan, guys. So, ito, this is a hyperbola. Again, the formula for eccentricity is C over A. So, I need to find the C and A sa equation na to. So, to do that, I will do again completely the square. Tapos, meron tayong negative 4y squared plus 8y. Transpose natin yung 4 sa kabilang side ng equation. Alright? So, magiging positive 4 siya. Now, factor out natin to para 1 lang yung coefficient ng x squared tsaka y squared. So, yung mangyayari dyan, that's 9 x squared minus 36 minus divided by 9 is 4x plus blank. Ito, i-isolate ko itong negative 4. Negative 4, so may matitira sa loob is y squared. Ito, magiging negative red. That's negative 2y plus blank is equal to 4. Alright. I-complete ko na yung x squared. 4 divided by 2 squared is 4. And kung ano yung idad ko dito, idadagdag ko rin dito. 4 times 9 is 36. So, plus 36. Ito, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. At kung anong dinagdag ko dito, idagdag ko rin sa kabila. 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. So, kung cancel out yung dalawang to, and now, I can now factor them out. So, ito, that's 9x, kasi negative yon minus 2 squared, minus 4. Ito, y minus 1 squared is equal to 36. And dapat, 1 lang yung nandito. So, I'll divide both sides by 36, divided by 36, divided by 36. The value here would be y minus 2 squared over 9 divided by 36 is 1/4 minus 4 divided by 36 is 1 over 9. So that's y minus 1 over 9 squared is equal to 1. So now, we know that kung ano yung nasa positive, that's always the value of a. So a squared is equal to 4 and b squared is equal to 9. Now, i-identify natin ngayon, hahanapin natin ngayon yung value ng eccentricity. We have the value of A, pero wala pa tayong value ng C. So, let's solve for the value of C using the formula C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Alright guys, para hindi kayo malito, lagi nyong tatandaan na kapag ellipse yan, ang formula ng c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. Pero kapag hyperbola, that is c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Lagi nyong tatandaan, pag ellipse, minus yon, kapag hyperbola, plus yon. Take note of that. So next, alright, the PC is in battery saver mode. Alis ka na. Alright, so dito, we can solve natin value of c squared. A squared natin is 4 plus 9. So c is basically equal to the square root of 13. Now, I can now solve for the eccentricity. Eccentricity is equal to square root of 13 divided by the value of a, which is square root of 4, which is 2. So, using our calculator, that's square root of 13 divided by 2. We have the value of 1.82. Okay, so ito yun guys. This is the answer, 1.8, letter B. Alright, so next problem. Problem number 14. This problem, sabi niya, the length of the major and minor axis of an ellipse is 10. So, I will draw there ellipse. Ito yung sentro. Major axis is 10. Ibig sabihin, this part here, yung dito lang hanggang dito, that's 5, and this is also 5. Now, the minor axis is 8. So, this is 8. This is 8 divided by 2. Ibig sabihin, this is 4 and this is 4. Now, what's the eccentricity of the ellipse? Again, eccentricity guys is equal yan sa c over a. I have the value of a. I know that's 5 because it's the larger one. What's always larger is the a. What's smaller is the b. So, I need to find now for the value of the c. Again, wala ako niyan. Pero I can solve it using the formula c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. Bakit minus? Kasi ellipse. Kapag hyperbola, plus yan. So, substitute, a squared is 25 squared minus, joke lang, 5 squared. A ko is 5. So, that's 5 squared minus 4 squared. C squared is equal to 25 minus 16. C is equal to the square root of 9. C is therefore equal to 3. So, substituting values, C is equal to 3 and A is equal to 5. So, eccentricity is 3 over 5 or equal to 0.6. That's letter D. Alright? Next problem, problem number 15. So, next here is we are tasked to find the focus of the parabola. And we know, para makuha yung vertex, dapat tayo mag-start, hanapin natin yung, para makuha yung focus, we need to find for the vertex and to find for the value of P. Kasi if this is the vertex, yan yung vertex guys, the distance from this going to the focus is P. Alright, diba? So, yan yung dahilan kung bakit ito yung hinahanap natin. Now, identify muna natin kung ano yung graph ng parabola. Since it's yung naka-square ay x, again, I want to reiterate, yung naka-square ay x is either going up or going down. Kapag yung naka-square is y, is going to the left or going to the right. Now, paano nyo malalaman kung down, up, left, right? Depende yan sa value ng P. Ito guys, this is the P, the value of the P. Kung yung value ng P nyo is positive, that's going up. If the value of P is negative, it's going down. Same here with the y squared. Going to the right, positive. Going to the left, negative. I'm referring here to the P value. P value, alright? So, hanapin natin yung vertex. Vertex here is basically, baliktad yung mga side, that's negative 2 and 3. Ito yung vertex natin. Now, let's solve for the value of P. We know that negative 16 is 4P. Is equal to negative 16. Divide both sides by 4. P is therefore negative 4. Bakit siya negative 4? Because the graph is going down. So, I can, from this alone, from this equation, I can assume, from this graph, from this equation, masasabi ko na yung graph ng ating parabola is going downwards. First of all, naka-square yung x, and second, the value of our P is negative. Alright, so let's now i-graph muna natin yan. So, that's negative 2, 3, 1, 2, that's 1, 2, 3, and dito yan. Next is yung P value natin. So, to find for that's going down, di ba? Next, ang value ng P natin is negative 4. So, para makuha yung focus, we will go down 4 units. So, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 dito. So basically, this is the focus. In the coordinate of this focus is negative 2 and negative 1. So our answer here is letter C, guys. Yeah, letter C is our answer. Negative 2 and negative 1. Next problem, number 16. A circle has its center at 3, negative 2, and one end of diameter at 7. To find the other end. Alright? So basically, meron daw tayong circle dyan. Sabi, ang center niyan is 3, negative 2. And one end of the diameter is 7, 2. Find the other end of the diameter. Ano daw to? So let's name that x and y. So parang balik lang tayo sa equation ng straight lines. Basically, midpoint formula. Average natin tong dalawang to. Ito yung midpoint nila. So that would be x plus 7 divided by 2. That's equal to 3. That's y plus 2 divided by 2. That's equal to negative 2. So I'll solve for the value of x. Transposing that, that's x is equal to, the x plus 7 is equal to 6. X is equal to 7. 6 minus 7. X is therefore equal to negative 1. Ito, y plus 2 divided by y plus 2. 2 transpose natin sa kabila. Ito magiging negative 4. Y is equal to negative 4 minus 2 kasi positive yun. Magiging y is equal to negative 6. So this coordinate xy is basically negative 1 and negative 6. And our answer is letter C. Yes. It's midpoint formula. Next. Number 17. What is the radius of a circle defined by the equation? So, meron tayong equation na ganito. Hanapin daw natin yung radius ng circle. Basically, is again, converting the general form into the standard. So, maraming problem na ganyan. So, try pausing the video and solve it in your own. Compare nyo po kung parehas sa sagot natin. So, that's x squared minus 6x. I-complete the square na natin to para mabilis. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. So, I'll add 9 here. Hindi ko na ayusin yung left side since radius lang naman hinahanap ko, which is in the right side. So, I don't care that at all kung ano yung mga HK, ganun. Next, ito naman. Y squared minus 4y. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So, I'll have 4 here. So, I'll add 4 here. Itong negative 12, kung transfer natin sa kabilang side ng equation, magiging positive 12. So, ito na yung radius squared. Radius squared is equal to 9 plus 4, that's 13 plus 12, that's 25. So, square root that, square root r is equal to 5. Now, radius ang hinahanap, so C is equal to 5. Yes, tama. Next problem po. Problem number 18. Right, so for this problem, two circles has the equation x squared plus y squared minus 10x. Alright. So, determine the ratio of their perimeter. So, we have two circles. Yeah, this is the first circle and the second circle. I-determine natin yung ratio ng perimeters. Ratio, ibig sabihin, putting them into fraction. So, perimeters, dapat, I think, the proper term here should be circumference because when we talk in circles, we usually call them circumference. So, ngayon, para makuha yung circumference, kailangan ko ulit mahanap yung radius ng mga to. So, basically, hindi ko na pakikialaman yung mga HK nila. I will just mind completing the square and adding it to the other side of the equation. So, dito, i-complete yung negative 10. 10 divided by 2. So, ito, di ba? So, sa first equation, ito, 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So, I'll add 25 here. Next, 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So, I'll add 4 over here. So, that's 29. So, this is equal to 225. That's r squared. So, my first r sub 1 is equal to 25. I think so. Yeah. No, that's square root of 225 is 15. Now, I'll solve now for the next value. So, ito lang, 6 siya. 6 divided by 2, guys, is 3. 3 squared is 9. So, r squared ko ngayon is 9. Basically, the value of my r garud is 3. Alright? So, r sub 2 is 3. R sub 1 is 15. Ano yung ratio ng perimeters? Basically, that's 9. That's basically 15 divided by 3, that's equal to 5. So, that's letter D. Alright, next problem. Find the area of the curve x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 12 plus 9 is equal to 0. Again, simply converting general to standard, this is a circle. Bakit circle? Same yung coefficients ng mga x nila, which is y. So again, hindi ko na pakikialaman tong hk para hindi na mahaba. I will just solve kung ano yung nasa right side ng equation, yung mga constants. Kasi yun yung magre-result ng r squared, di ba? R squared yung hinahanap ko, which is on the right side over here. So para makuha yun, i-complete the square ko. 6 divided by 2, guys, is 3. 3 squared is 9 plus 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36. 9 transpose sa kabilang side ng equation, magiging negative 9. Cancel out, 36. Radius squared is equal to 36. It means that the value of my r is equal to 6. Now, ano yung area ng curve na to, which is a circle? Basically, that's pi r squared. R squared is 6. 6 times 6, that's 36 pi. Multiply nyo sa pi, that would be equal to 113.09. That's 113.09 something. And that's very close to C. Kaya C yung sagot natin. Yan, nagtataka ko ba't wala doon yung sagot. I-simplify pala, minultiply yung pi times 36. So that's 113. Alright, next. Determine the area of the circle whose center is at 2, negative 5 and tangent to the line 4x plus 3y equals 8. Kung napanood nyo yung video natin ng straight lines, meron akong in-introduce na formula. There's a formula which can find the distance from a point to a certain line. Yeah. And ito applicable yan kasi when we have a circle, ang center niya is 2, negative 5. Ang tangent line dyan, this tangent point of tangency papunta dyan is always perpendicular. Same case lang dito. So, pwede kong gamitin yung formula, which is the distance of this point going to that perpendicular line is the absolute value of a x sub 1 plus b y sub 1 plus c over the square root of a squared plus b squared. So, just substitute. Ito po yung a ko. B, lagay ko to sa kabilang side ng equation. C is therefore equal to negative 8. And the value of my AB is ito, yung xy ko naman, x sub 1 tsaka y sub 1, that's 2 and 5. Ito, x sub 1, y sub 1. So, I'll use another color. So, substitute. That's A is equal to 4 times x sub 1, that's 2, plus B, which is equal to 3 times y sub 1, which is negative 5, minus 8 over, don't forget this is absolute value, square root of 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to 16 plus 9. That's simplify it out. Sa baba tayo, 4 times 2, that's 8, minus 15, that's minus 15, that's minus 23. 8 minus 23, guys, is equal to negative 15, pero absolute value diyan kaya magiging positive 15. Ito dahil sa baba. 16 plus 9 is 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So 15 divided by 5, it means the distance is equal to 3. Now, ano tong 3? This distance here from this point to this point, that's 3. Ang hinahanap natin is area ng circle. Area of circle is pi r squared. Your r is 3. So r squared area is equal to r squared 3 squared is 9 pi. Letter B. Our answer is letter B. Right? Next problem. Problem number 21. So, it's again a circle. The equation of a circle is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. Determine the area enclosed. So, it's, again, basically finding the area. We can post the video and try it out para maano nyo. So, hindi ko na pakikialaman yung mga HK. I will just find the value of the radius. So, i-complete ko na lang yung square. So, dito, 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. Ito, transpose sa kabilang side ng equation, kaya magiging minus 1. Diba? Magiging minus 1. So, r squared ko ngayon is equal to 15. So, the value of my r is equal to the square root of 15. And area is equal to pi r squared. Squared ko, pi times, square ko yung 15, mawala yung square root, so that's 15 pi. Gets? Yun. Next, 22. Determine the diameter of the circle described by, okay. So, ngayon naman, diameter naman yung pinapahanap. We know that's 9x squared plus 9y squared is equal to 16. So, kung ito yung equation, dapat yung x squared tsaka y squared natin, yung coefficients niyan, again, sabi ko is 1. So, para mangyari yon, i-divide ko to, divide all by 9. So, ito magiging x squared plus y squared is equal to 16 divided by 9. Yun, 16 divided by 9. So, I know that the r squared is equal to 16 over 9. R, square root ko yan, that's equal to 4 over 3. Yung hinahanap is diameter. And diameter is equal to 2 radius. Dalawang radius. So, that's 4 over 3 times 2. The value of my diameter is now therefore equal to 4 times 2, 8 over 3. Dun, 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 dun. That's letter B. Alright? Next problem. Problem number 23. Okay. Determine the eccentricity of the ellipse 4x squared plus 25y squared. Eccentricity of the ellipse. Again, sabi ko nga, eccentricity, guys, is equal to C over A. Kailangan natin hanapin to with this given ellipse. So, from general equation, i-convert natin to sa standard para malaman natin yung mga values ng C and A. Para mangyari yan, it's again completing the square. Let's say, 4x squared plus 8x 25. Group muna natin sila, 25y squared minus 100y. Itong 4, transpose natin sa kabilang side ng equation, magiging negative 4. Ito, i-factor out ko para yung coefficient ng x tsaka y squared natin is equal to 1. So, that's 4x plus 2x. I-complete na natin yan. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1 plus 25. Ilalabas ko po yung 25, guys. Yung matitira sa loob is y squared minus 4y. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Is equal to negative 4. Now, kung ano yung in-add ko dito, dapat i-add ko rin sa kabila. This is 1 times 4. Mag-add ako dito ng 4. That's 4 times 25. That's equal to 100. 100. So, magka-cancel ito yung negative 4 tsaka positive 4. So, yung natira na lang is 4x plus 1 squared plus 25y minus 2 squared is equal to 100. And dapat yung right side natin is only equal to 1. So, I'll divide this by 100, divide this by 100, divide that by 100. So, my final equation is x plus 1 squared over 25 plus y minus 2 squared over 4 is equal to 1. Now, this is an ellipse. What is larger will always be the A. So, A squared is equal to B is equal to 25 and B squared is equal to 4. So, para mahanap ko yung C, since meron akong A, I need to find for the value of C. I will use the equation, the formula C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared. Minus pag ellipse plus pag hyperbola. Don't forget that. So, now, I will now find for the value of C. So, C squared is A squared, that's 25, minus 4. That's equal to 21. So, C is equal to the square root of 21. So, to find for the value of the eccentricity, just substitute square root of 21 divided by A, which is 5. Kasi square root of 25. So, E is therefore equal to, use your calculator, square root of 21 divided by 5. That's approximately 0.916. So, that's letter B. Alright? 0.916. Our answer is letter B. Alright? Next. Right, let's go. Find the equation of the parabola whose vertex is the origin and whose focus is at point 0, 2. So, first thing to do is identify ano nga ba yung formula na gagamitin natin dito. Sabi, ang vertex is the origin which is at 0, 0. And the focus is at point 0, 2. So, it move 1, 2. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang graph natin is going to that. So, since this is the focus, dapat ini-enclose yan. So, tamang, the parabola is facing to the right side. So, when we know that the equation of a parabola facing to the left or right, ang na-square dapat dyan should be equal to the y. So, that's y minus k squared is equal to 4p x minus h. Kapag ulitin ko, kapag y yung naka-square, that's left or right. Kapag x yung naka-square, that's up or down. And since it's going to the right, positive po yung value ng p natin. And ang value ng p natin is the distance from this vertex to the focus, which is 2 units kasi that's 0.02. So, P is 2. I'll just substitute values kasi alam ko naman yung K tsaka H is which is 0. So, Y minus 0, hindi ko nalalagyan yan. 4 times, that's 2. X minus 0 is X. That's Y squared is equal to 8X. Basically, yan yung equation which is number letter B. Our answer, guys, is letter B. Alright? And we're down to the last problem. Yay! Problem number 25. Given an ellipse, determine the distance between foci. So our ellipse is x squared over 36 plus y squared over 32. Since the x squared and y squared yan, alam natin na yung center or the vertex is equal to, or yung centro, I'm sorry guys, I'm referring to sa center, that's at 0, 0. Diba? Origin siya. Ngayon, ano yung distance ng dalawang foci? Ang distance ng dalawang between two foci is basically the value of 2c. And we know that this is a squared, this is b, this is value of a squared, this is b squared. So, hanapin natin yung value ng c using the formula, c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. C squared, ang a ko is 36 minus 32. C squared is equal to 4. C is therefore equal to 2. Now, 2c yan guys. Ibig sabihin, ang foci is 2c. So, 2 times 2, that's equal to 4. So, 4 is our final answer, which is letter B. So, that's it, mga bubuyog. I hope you have learned something. Good luck sa exams, mga Bs. Let's claim it. Papasa tayo. If you have some questions, comment it down below. We'll try to answer that. Kung may napansin kayong mali sa aking mga solutions, feel free to comment down below. I won't take it against you guys. It would be very helpful para, yes, papasa tayong lahat. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. See you next sem, mga pare ko. That's it. Bye-bye, mga Bs.